Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's Tragic Life here with Blasphemous 2. Last time we just opened the game up. Visited a couple people, got a couple things, you know. Normal stuff. Just got back in from outside. It is freezing again. Okay. Cool. Press that button to open the map. Remember to place markers where you find something interesting. I always forget to do that. Yeah. Kill everything you see. I don't think I can get this yet, but we'll try. Oh, almost. Alright. I'm also eating a Snickers, so there is that. Okay, I have it. I'm still going. So this is room 3. Oh. Fun stuff. Slide under. I went the wrong way, but that's okay. Sir. All right. myself anyway. I had to refind myself. Alright. Upon dying, a guilt fragment remains anchored to the world. The level of guilt rises, reducing the gain of fervor and Yeller defense, but increasing tears of atonement and martyrdom points gained. Collect guilt fragments to partially recover or find someone who can ease your burden. Wait.
Who are you, whose face and name you keep hidden? No, your name is of no consequence if your footsteps have led you to me. Yerma is mine own. But this is not the right moment, for the steps that my promise inspires are swift, and the will that directs them unshakable. This hatred, which blinds my reason with shadows. I must leave at once.
Steely battle lance. You now have access to weapon memory section in your inventory. Use marks of martyrdom to acquire advanced combat techniques. Track down the bearer penitence to unlock techniques that are even more powerful. Okay, so this is new-ish. So in this game, you can update by earning points. So Retribution, press RB to, at the last moment, unleash a devastating slash that strikes multiple times. Bloody Pact, hold RBX. Power hits from Ruego element with additional hits of magic gauge. Charging the gauge by dealing damage. And Crimson Warmonger. Up and X to perform a Crimson Ascension, press down and X to perform a Crimson Cyclone. Alright, we don't have enough for either one yet, but we will. Okay, so where am I supposed to be? I think I'm supposed to be here.
Sleep, my child. Sleep.
Okay. That is all we're here for now, but there'll be stuff later, so. Alright, room 4, we were just in. I can't hit you. For the moment, you're safe. Alright, so what did we also got something, so let me see something here. At the tip of an object of worship that was turned into a weapon. It delivered a violent end to countless enemies, and memories of those deaths linger on. Its strength resides in the arsenal of penitence in which it can be awakened. Alright, so what is this? Steely battle lance? Cool. Battle lance. All right. The night was dark and full of mist. Yerma saw her chance to climb in through an open window, breaking into an old church that discreetly oversaw a far corner of the village. A perfect night for her purpose. With cat-like agility, she climbed down a sculpture on the inner facade until reaching a cold marble floor. Nobody saw or heard her. She stepped into the temple's darkness, her eyes piercing every shadow in search of her objective. And there it was, on top of an altar at the end of the nave, a silver rod, an old sacred relic that had remained intact despite the centuries. It shone with a glow of its own like some kind of living thing. It was said that the rod had been plated with an impossible alloy of oil-anointed silver. Yerma did not hesitate. She slid from the shadows like a snake, took the rod and felt its cold weight. That argent glow, fleeting, reflected it in her eye, revealing them to be full of hate and thirsty for vengeance. Nobody will ever know what happened to that artifact. All right, good stuff. All right, see where we're going. Really sure what I'm supposed to do right now. Unless I was supposed to go this way. I probably was. Ah. Ivy of Ascension. Some surfaces can be used to climb. Hold down RT, right trigger to cling onto these surfaces and not slip. Scratch lead spear. Equip rosary beads in your inventory to upgrade characteristics of the penitent one. Find additional knots to increase the number of beads you can equip. All right, we'll get to that in a second. So what was that? That's a scratched lead spear. All right, so we've got slightly increases resistance to all physical damage. That sounds awesome. Sturdy metal ball embedded in the hollowed out wall of a study. The monk who forged it was beaten to death, and no one remembers its real purpose anymore. Okay. That was awfully dark. Alright. Beaten to death. Got it. That's what the assassinations look like. All right. So we just got a mark of martyrdom. And with that, we can build. I'm going to wait to 2 to get this thing here. This thing looks like it might be good. All right. Yeah, that just happened. That was just me getting lazy. doing pretty good. I'll take that back, thank you. Who said you could touch me? Don't touch me. Alright. Bye-bye. Goodbye-bye. Come here. So you can't attack upwards when you jump with this weapon. Okay, so we're going to ignore the elevator. We have a Mirabras of the Return to Post. Takes the penitent one back to the city of blessed name. What is this called? Mirabras? Or Mirabras? Mirabras? Of the Return to Port. Okay. Chant a supplication of to the Farolera, sung by sailors in need of aid. Okay, so that's our second one. We will be using that one. All right. Elevator go down. Sea of ink. And we got a forgotten tribute. A coin that was used for many years as payment for the processions that traverse the roads at nighttime. These processions gradually died out, so finding a coin like this is a rare occurrence. The thick night mist snaked and curled around the lattice of trunks and branches that made up that forest. From that very fog that stick to my skin like a clammy shroud did emerge the shadows. They marched in procession with mournful parsimony, each one a bearer of their own lament and grim expressions, confused, wafting forward in death. Seized by this sinister sight, I could not help but witness, frozen in place, as they slowly made their way towards me. Only then did the procession stop. The shadow guided the group. The tallest and most tenebrous of them all bowed down in silence, showing me the palm of his bare hand. He was waiting for something. Petrified, I could but mutter a few vain words whilst my whole being shivered. It was at that moment that the piercing light of a sudden dawn broke through the entangled canopy of that forest, tearing apart both fog and spectre, making them all vanish before me. The sweet song of birds conjured away the deadly silence that had reigned before. I will never know what tribute that ghost of mist would have asked for, nor if I will ever encounter them again. Well. Processions of Shadows. We just came down there for this. Sculptor's Resonant Gavel. Really? Small square hammer. Skilled sculptors use tools similar to this to work wood in its initial form. Oh. However, it is impossible not to conclude that any artist using such a small mallet must have sought to undergo some kind of penance or punishment. Resonant Gavel. All right. His last work, part 5. It was then that the sculptor, witness to the whole ordeal, was blinded by a radiance that grew from the pious visage of the lady. A flare so grossly incandescent that it condemned him to the most absolute darkness. The old man, blinded forever, yet in the midst of that deep blackness a vision persisted, engraved with pure light, the most beautiful face he had ever laid his eyes upon. Okay. Drop the ladder. Don't climb yet. Go this way. Oh. Empty receptable. Glass vessel able to contain the blood flowing from the crimson flesh touched by the miracle, used to increase the number of bile baths. That's always good. Empty receptable. Okay. On hearing the young man's question, the elder gaze filled with melancholy. Yes, this church belongeth to a bygone age, one so ancient, so chaotic, that it's as if it wanted to disappear from memory, an age in which time itself decided to stop in a perpetual sunset, and which every man yearned only for the designs of the divine. But so it happened that the faith of those people faded, quietly escaping from their heart year after year. Even so, this abandoned church still stands. Its foundation as firm as ever, as if it waited for something, as if it refused to give up the faith that so many had already lost. And the old man stood there, gazing at the sturdy stone, lost in thought. Okay.
Pray, how can I assist? This mallet is so wonderfully balanced in the hand that it feels quite effortless to move. Know that you have my gratitude, penitent one.
Okay.
May the hands of the miracle guide.
There we go. Child of Moonlight. 233. All right, that was cool. Okay, before you talk to her, always come here and make a sacrifice. Okay. It's not an achievement, but it will help you.
Open up the skin and red flesh. Uncover the lie that my shell conceals, for I am only blood and bones. So allow the chalices to be filled with those who toast kings and priests. Now I shall grant thee a new flask. Bring me more vials.
You'll actually generally get a bonus if you do this eventually. I don't know exactly when, but we will.
Oh, blessed are we, for I behold a penitent. Humbly allow us to present ourselves to your reverence. We are Medardo and Escolastico, pilgrim merchants and scribes by trade. You never know where precious assets may be. What, pray, can be unjust or malevolent in walking the roads in pursuit of a twofold profit? That of the pocket by selling, and that of the spirit by prayer. While Medardo pays penance in his meditative meanderings, I take care of the business side of things, sparing not a drop of ink to write about the beautiful landscapes of the many varied paths we travel. But go ahead and cast your eyes upon our shop window. The objects that were lost on voyages have great appeal and fascination, as they have become a reminder of the feat itself. Cast your eyes upon our shop window.
Okay, so there's a couple things. Choirmaster and Galera of the Living Briar. We're gonna actually get the Choirmaster.
Until our paths cross again.
Alright, so we're gonna go back real quick. And we're about at the end of this video.
The wood is... I sense how its veins nourish a body that seeks to be wounded with my chisels and hammers, that yearns for the cuts and indentations that will free it from its coarse origins.
Okay. Alright, so this does increase the chance of critical hits when using prayers. I did the wrong thing, I'm sorry guys. I'm gonna put it here. Alright, no presets. Lore. The Choirmaster. Pay no heed to his words, as he's but an old and deranged friar that every night stayed out on his balcony, convinced that great chorus awaits him to start a magnificent concert. One day, during his habitual walk, he wandered deep into the forest to pray, coming back a changed man. As if his mind had returned to a more joyous, more hopeful era, said the woman to the stranger, as her gaze lingered sympathetically over the friar. The old man gestured endlessly to the air, a smile uplifting his withered face. And this is where I will leave you. Until next time, adios, amigos.